Hey Lisa, how you doing? Okay, I've got your post up here with your final logo renderings, and I think you've done a good job. I think these are pretty crisp and clean, and I think that they both represent, to a certain degree, they represent the client and the actual. You've done a good job developing and assigning meaning to the client based on your word list, right? So that's fantastic. Now, as far as moving forward in these two, I think that the pictorial is a little misleading. And the reason I say that is because it's Minotaur Publishing, right? So a Minotaur, as we know, is what? It's a mythological creature that consists of the head and tail of a bull, but the body of a man. So right now, I think this is misleading because this is just a bull, right? So I mean, you could really crop it, maybe something like that, to come up with a minotaur, just kind of leaving the rest to the imagination. But if you have an image of the bull's head and the name of the company is Minotaur Publishing, the viewer will be able to fill in the blanks and kind of gather meaning associated. You don't have to completely draw out the whole Minotaur in this pictorial representation. Do you see what I'm saying? I think the abstract logo is pretty interesting, but there's a couple of things here that I think are a little misleading as well, and that is the fact that you've got these horns and then you've got the color red associated with. So immediately when we look at this, we think of a depiction of the devil or of evil, since we have horns associated with red. Typically, we'll look at that as some sort of depiction of evil, some sort of depiction of heaven and hell, or basically of an evil entity or a deity. Do you see what I'm saying? Specifically, the devil. So I think that's just a little misleading. So moving forward, I would recommend for your final submission, I would recommend condensing this somehow so that we don't have an image of a bull representing what should be a minotaur. So because that's going to add some mixed signals and create some confusion. And then over here, maybe consider adding assigning a different color to the M. Okay, and then moving forward from there, whatever you decide to use, moving on later on in the class when we start developing some different areas associated with the final branding, you may consider where you're going to add type here. Okay, would the type be underneath, Minotaur Publishing underneath, or maybe this is smaller on the side and then Minotaur Publishing next to it in a banner type logo, but just start thinking about how you will move forward with that. Okay, so those are my recommendations for your final submission. If you have any questions at all, please let me know. Thank you very much.